This is Dabu 7. We have many problems in this country, but among the top here is homelessness. And now we have word that one of the largest camps out there here in America, inside of California, in one of the counties around San Francisco here, has grown to over 2 miles in length. You're looking at an aerial shot of that spot in Marin County, where things have gotten so bad that this massive line along the waterway has grown on the side of the road. Camper after camper after camper. So evictions continue to surge, rents soaring, and the Biden administration is trying hard to gaslight everyone out there and convince the sheep that everything is fine. But it is not. We're now in a situation just like in 2008, 2009, where large numbers of people have lost their jobs, and it's going to continue down this path with the Biden regime making these moves. So in Marin County, California, the average price of a home is $1.4 million. It's one of the most prosperous areas in the entire country. But here is also home to one of the biggest camps out there. As I said, more than 2 miles long. Hundreds of locals in one of San Francisco's wealthiest counties been forced to pack up their lives into RVs and trailers on the side of the road. So this is the real deal. This isn't just downtown areas where you've got zombied out drug heads folded over and all that. No. This is everyday people in this country that are being forced out, that lost their jobs by design, lost their homes by design, and this is where it's put them. All in all, this is happening in many different places, many different states, but I just wanted to point out just how big of a deal this is, and it's growing. This camp alone, again, over 2 miles in length. I'm going to leave links here below. Join me on the live stream where I talk about this in greater detail Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hit that subscribe button for more. This has been Dabu7. Much love.
Hey, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. First thing foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And it was in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. What you witness here was, it states 2 mile long vehicle encampment in California. American homeless encampments are exploding in size. Because Dabu made an interesting point. Basically, people losing their jobs ever since what happened in 2020. A lot of the people who lost their jobs, other half just don't give a shit. They just gave up and they're like, we'd rather live homeless and poor before we deal with tyranny on our time high, because this is basically tyrannical. But this is setting up a disaster, man, because you have all these homeless camps, mainly that in California. And it was Spirit, we was talking about it this week at camp, because right at our camp, you got at our camp spot, you got a homeless camp, or like a homeless guy. He's living literally in the tree behind where we post up at. I don't know if you brothers, when you watch the videos and if you look directly behind us, I don't know if you can really see the tent that's set up in the tree, but basically dude made a homeless camp in a tree, man. And that's a common thing in Kansas City and just America, period, because people are losing their hopes. They're losing their bank accounts. They're losing their money. And we've been telling you from the beginning, man, Edom, his plan is to gradually starve everybody out to get them dependent on a micro C hit. I remember when I was working for the state organization a while back, a couple of years ago, and sometimes we had to go and clean out homeless camps, and you'd be surprised on what you find. Like right on the side of the highway, you can see people. I'm talking about communities of 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes even 100 people living in the woods, man. Whether from them being ostracized, it could be drugs, mental illnesses, and then a lot of people, they just lost their possessions, man, because America breeds a narcissist mindset, you know what I'm saying, and it breeds a sick mindset So it says 2 mile long vehicle encampment in California. That's crazy, because California was a point of time. If you wasn't living in Cali, you wasn't living. Okay, between Cali and Florida, those are like the places to go, man. Okay, you got the best of both coasts. You got Florida on the south, and then you got Cali all the way in the west. I mean, if you wasn't living in California in the 90s, early 2000s, you were missing out big time. Okay, because for one thing, this is where all the celebrities are at. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the cost of living is it's very expensive to live in California. But now, they raising rents, areas are being gentrified, people mass exiting out of these cities and so forth. And Esau continues to raise the rent to oppress people. It's going to turn into people going to start to revolt against the government, man. Because, matter of fact, the brother, he sent the video. He uploaded a video on the page, and this is in Cali. Check this out. This is downtown LA. Well, I won't say fully downtown LA, but nonetheless, this is LA, man. Okay, the city of angels, Los Angeles. Now look at it, man. It's full of homeless population, drugs. It look like fucking Beirut, man. Okay, and it says here, paying $7,000 or $7K to live around this. It says this around the corner from a $7,500 a month apartment is in Los Angeles. $7,500 a month. Who in the hell in their right mind can live? Who the hell can afford that? Especially when you don't have any type of degrees or any type of schooling or any credentials behind your belt. Who the fuck can afford to live there? You think city workers are getting paid that much a month? Hell no. You think people that's working at Walmart and particular stores and little factory jobs, man, even construction jobs, you may not even be able to afford that. And I do know, since the cost of living is higher, you do have higher wages. Like minimum wage, I'm hypothetically speaking, maybe like $20-some an hour in California. Hypothetically speaking, I don't know. But even then, that's still cutting it, man. So all hell getting ready to break loose. So it says the growing number of homeless camps has spread like wildfire throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. And the Bay Area was beautiful to live in. Oakland, the Bay Area. Shit, if you didn't visit the Bay in the 90s, then you were solely missing out. Me, I was a child then, so, I've never been. But I'm just hearing the stories of brothers that grew up out there, brothers that was in the military. They traveled through the Bay Area in the 90s. They said it was like paradise almost, man. And people were living a living testament as to it disintegrating like that, man. People were literally just like, damn, what's happened? Well, this is the Most High shameful spewing upon thy glory. Okay, because these are proud Edomites, man. These are Edomites that had the bag. Okay, they just knew they had a prominent future ahead of them. And look at them now. They result to bums, losing everything, living in RVs, which in certain cases, RVs living is not a bad thing, because even an average RV, a good one, can run you about $250,000. But one of those, you can take it on the road, you can pack up and live whatever you want. But the resources to sustaining those things. And then certain people are living in those by choice, because they feel like, well, you know what? I'd rather pay $250,000 to buy one of these things and own it versus me paying $7,000, $8,000 a month in rent. Staying in an apartment 5 years, you've been way paid over that. You know what I'm saying? And with an RV, you can travel and you can just go as you please. But people are losing it, man. It says, for years, lawmakers in the state have implemented progressive policies that have backfired, sparking a multitude of crises, including soaring crime, rising homelessness, and out-of-control drug overdoses, and population and business exodus. Meaning businesses are popping, they're leaving. You know what I'm saying? And they're leaving. Businesses are leaving. People are leaving. And a lot of the people from from Cali are going to Texas, but the people from Texas there aren't welcoming the Californians with open arms, because California, that's like a liberal state. Okay, and we know that Texas is more of a conservative state. They believe in their First Amendment rights. They believe in the Constitution. Shoot first, ask questions later. Versus this Momo culture in California, they're bringing that bullshit there. They're bringing that that transmission agenda down to Texas, and Texans ain't having that. So therefore, a lot of Texans or a lot of people from Texas, landlords and so forth, they raising up rents. And the people that's not accepted in these various states, they come here to Kansas City. You know, which Kansas City, they open up every goddamn body. I mean, for Missouri to be a Republican state, Kansas City and St. Louis got to be some of the most liberal states in the fucking country, man. Because, I mean, Kansas City is a complete Democratic city, though we in a Republican state. But everybody here is on that liberalism nonsense. When no ask, don't tell, you know, my body, my choice, straight feminism. You know what I'm saying? The men are become women, the women to become men. It's a joke, you know, and this is a good time that Kansas Cityans or the city of Kansas City can capitalize off people that's pretty much been exiled from California, because they were like, well, you know, people could still have their jobs, but they can travel remotely and work in different states while maintaining their income. So if you live in California and your average salary is $400,000, it ain't shit for you to live in Kansas City, man. You know, so they can go up on rent, they can charge outstanding prices for tourists or for people that don't live here because they can afford it. That's why they building this city up, because they're trying to attract people to this city, man. And that's what they want to do. They want to attract people here. So you have this happening in California. People are coming to the Midwest now. They're like, well, you know what? I can afford a $200,000 house, especially when you make $300,000 a year, X, Y, and Z. That's nothing. So, hey, that's what they're doing, even in New York. You know, people are working remotely from jobs in different states, but they're moving abroad. And companies are allowing that move because people want to be able to afford shit. But as you're seeing, things are progressively like buying these people out. They're just like basically they're holding on to the Titanic until it hit the water. Okay, this isn't working, so let's go here until this fails. And then when that fails, we're going to go there to the point there's not going to be any refuge. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, how for Babylon she has not been healed. Take balm for her. If so, she may be healed, but we could not heal Babylon. Okay, because America is not going to be healed. All right. But it says one of the latest examples of implementing failed progressive policies is the inability to effectively address the homelessness and drug crisis on a 2-mile stretch of the road in Marvin County, California, overrun by cars, tents, RVs, and trailers parked on the side of the road. It says just north of San Francisco along the Benford Road, the Daily Mail counted at least 135 vehicles. Wow. It says this is one of the largest encampment sites in the state. Despite living on the side of the highways, like when you get off the ramps, downtown LA, you got homeless camps living on the side of the fucking highway, man. Okay, people being deprived of their living, their resources, systematically. It says police in Marin County have found that some individuals dealing fentanyl and other drugs from their vehicles or tents. Like I said, this is a violence ready to happen. This is literally like a explosion waiting to set off, man. You know, it says in one bus, agents seized a ghost gun and large amounts of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and marijuana. And this is the photos here. This is basically the homeless camps. And this is going to be all America in a minute, man. And these same people, when all hell break loose, oh, they're going to go to the people that's put them out of commission. You better believe that these people, man, they're on edge and they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to get their shit back. Purge waiting to happen, man. So, hey, it's getting interesting, brothers. This is crazy. Look at this. Wow. 2 miles of road, over 135 cars in close proximity. That's some straight madness, man. All right. But, hey, this is America. Your beloved Babylon the Great. So this is the book of 2 Ezra 15:1. It says, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, says the Lord. Okay. This is prophetic by nature because the scripture stated that we're going to have a moral or the moral decay of Babylon of America. The people are going to start to be depleted of their resources, man. People are going to become homeless. People are going to resort to violence and looting in the streets. It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay, this is true because we're seeing these things come to pass. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And incredulity goes into disbelief. It says, for all the unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. But behold, says the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction. And believe it or not, homelessness is a plague that's plaguing America. Okay, in Chicago, under the Randolph Street Bridge and down on Grand Streets, man. You got homeless camps under there. And that's been like that since the fucking early 90s, late 80s. Homeless camps, they're building bridges or building homeless camps underneath the streets of Chicago, man. Okay, and let's not go into here in Kansas City. People are literally making homes under bridges and overpasses, man. You know, doing what they can to survive because they lost faith in the government. You know, like Dabu said, this guy Biden is blowing smoke up everybody's ass. He's gaslighting them. And this guy's done nothing to fix your situation, man. But instead, he's taken all the small businesses, you know, and locked those people up that got the PPP loans that's set to make more money off the business, you know. So that was all a sham in itself, you know. But it says here, behold, matter of fact, it says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, thus says the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither would I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. But behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain unto me continually, man. And you know, this is a double-edged sword, because this is the pride of you people, man. Okay, you people have been proud as hell, man. You same Americans, you Babylonians, man. You never thought this can happen to you. You know, you scoffed and laughed at all the homeless people and turned your nose up in Jake. But now majority of these people are Edomites, man. Shameful spewing on thy glory. Okay? Matter of fact, haughty. Let me find the precept. Haughty. These are all good precepts here. But, proud and haughty scorners is his name, who dealeth proud and wrath. No, that's a good one. But no, this is actually Isaiah 24, if I got that. 24, I got that on deck. But Isaiah 10 and 33. It says, behold, the Lord of hosts shall luck the bow of terror. And we know this is going into the destruction. But it says the high ones of stature should be hewn down and the haughty should be humbled, man. And a lot of these people had businesses. A lot of these people were millionaires, man. Lost trust funds, lost bank accounts, you know, scamming on Wall Street. Now look at them. All right. But this is the book of Isaiah 24, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattered abroad the inhabitants thereof, man. And it should be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so as his masters, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so to the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. And the land should be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken his word. So the Lord has commissioned destruction, starting systematically first, then physically, okay? Because we know first it's a breakdown from inside. Same thing in Rome, you know, the bridges, you know, the bread and myrrh started to dwindle, the fucking military being spread too thin. They had too many problems on their hand that they couldn't deal at once, and their military was pretty much dispersed abroad. They were spread thin, so they couldn't handle all the issues they were having. And clearly America is facing the same downfall. And good, let this place fall, man. You know, we're tired. You know, we're tired of this shit, man. You know, getting up, going to work, it's pointless. You know, sometimes you just can't fake it till you make it. Sometimes you just go off how you feel. You know, and we're tired. We're out. You know what I'm saying? It's Monday. It's just like, come on, enough is enough. You know. But it says here, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, and the world languished and faded away, and the haughty people of the earth do languish. Okay, and these people, you better believe at one point in time they was proud as hell. You know, a lot of these could be corporate Americans, old bankers, you know, personal bankers. You know, because to live in California, you had to have some money, man. That just wasn't broke nigga central. You know, and I mean, you do got lower class Jakes there, but look where they put those Jakes at versus living downtown LA. Shit, $10,000 a month for an apartment, $7,500, $3,500. Shit, yeah, right. But it says the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And this is a problem because Esau, he doesn't rule by the rules of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, he doesn't rule by the law, statutes, and commandments, but he rules in wickedness. So this is the result of it. That's why it says broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell in are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are barren, and few men left. Okay, but the point is in 7, the new wine mourneth, and the vine languish, and all the merry hearted do sigh. And the new wine is this fucking hell that's coming to this place, man. Okay, because the mirth of this place, that's being dealt the blow. To the point, bread and circus is all the people have, but that's even dwindling. Okay, people are not keeping up with the endeavors they used to keep up with. They're not looking forward to the Christmas holiday. Like last Christmas, that shit was dead as fuck. Like back in the 90s, late 80s, early 2000s, man, it wasn't a block that you couldn't go down without having a massive Christmas tree full of decorations and lights and so forth. Now you barely see it. Why? Because people, they're choosing wisely on where to put their money at. And it says the new wine mourneth, and the vine language, and all the merry hearted do sigh. And this is a state of mourning here. When you're homeless, okay, that's a straight up judgment from the Lord when you're homeless. Now, give or take, men of the Lord have been homeless at times, but notice, brothers, they don't really remain in that state of being derelict for a long time, because that's a fate of the proud. Okay, now while men of the Lord have been homeless, like Yahweh Shai say, the son of man have no place to lay his head. I mean, you had men in the Lord that wandered around and, was derelict and so forth, but that was for a purpose. Even in this day and age, you had brothers that live with other brothers, and brothers that may have been homeless, went to shelters and stuff like that. But overall, the Lord takes care of them. Okay, but this is surely because these people in America, they're fucking proud, man. And it says, and the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, and the noise of them that rejoiceth ended, and the joy of the harp ceaseth, man. Okay, all the singing and dancing. It says they should not drink wine with a song. Strong drink should be bitter to them that drink it. But the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in, right? Because there ain't gonna be no homes nobody can go to. Okay, it says there's a crying for wine in the streets. All the joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. And the city is left in desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction, man. Okay, and when thus it should be in the midst of the land among the people, there should be as a shaking of an olive tree, as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. Okay, and it's the point, man. They don't have the vintage anymore. Their vintage is failing. So therefore, they result in selling meth, weed, fentanyl, which fucking fentanyl, that kills you, man. Like fentanyl, man. That's a you ain't coming back from that, man. That and methamphetamine, meth. They call it crystal meth, man. Out here in Independence, Missouri, they call this shit meth capital at a point in time. Like, used to have a crib that blew up a meth lab out there. When you go to Independence, Missouri, that's a primary example. If you want to go make fun of Edomites, hey, go to Independence, Missouri, man. You literally got orange devils out there, literally washing clothes out the trunk of their car, man. Independence once, I believe was Truman. No, I think he lived in Grandview or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless of that, man, they uphold Truman and racist devils in this fucking city. And the Most High has plagued their ass with meth and homelessness, man. Show you how the Lord has a very, very strange sense of humor. A good one at that. Because who's to know that the same people that they uphold on the pedestal, the Lord make mockery of them. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes 12. And I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, and also when they should be afraid of that which is high, and fear should be in the way, and the almond tree should flourish, and the grasshopper should be a burden, and desire shall fail. People are failing, they're losing their hope. It's to the point, I was in class today, I'm like, man, this is really a fucking waste of time, man. But they still try to push that career-minded madness on us. Like, Jake is past that. The only people that's still in a career-minded mindset is you simpletons, you people that's been gotten by the Babylon sauce, man. You people still believe in this thing they call American dream. Ain't no fucking dream. This shit is dead, man. It's a nightmare. Now, of course, you work to sustain your bills and you do things like that until you can't do it anymore. But that's just basically what it is. I just work to get my daily bread, to feed myself, take care of my child, the ministry and everything else that comes along with that, man. But other than that, I don't give a fuck about this place, man. I don't give a shit about any of their credentials or the schools or anything jobs have to offer. It's done deal. People getting ready. They say, look, if the economy collapsed, they said like 8 million something businesses or some shit. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be laid off. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these school funding programs, a lot of these accreditations are being ready to be taken away. A lot of stores, mom and pop, A lot of mom and pop restaurants are getting ready to go out of business if they don't do nothing about this this default that's coming. And they may not do nothing about it because, like I said, they're going over the Fed now. So they got to figure something out quick. But it says here, it should fail, and because men go into his lone home and the mourners go about the streets, man, and these are mourners, okay? They're in the streets. Why? Because, hey, the lifespan of Babylon is dwindling down, man. Okay, Babylon the Great. It's on its way out, and good riddance to this place. I can't wait, you know. So anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Matter of fact, Salaki, one more scripture. It says, or ever the silver cord be loose, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel be broken at the cistern, man. Okay, basically it's going to be a complete halt to society and its economy. Everything is going to slow down, and the key to fixing that is the micro C-HIP. That's what they're going to promise you. That's going to enlighten the situation. But we know once they pass the C-HIP, destruction is literally around the corner. So let them do what they got to do. But anyway, with that, shalom and above.